Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Ule Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, here we go. We start with the energy of the Four of Discs, which, if you've been to this channel, you know. The Four of Discs is my favorite card besides the Knight of Cups or King of Cups, right? You would know this only because I always bring it up, right? I think every reading I'm talking about the Four of Discs. This one, to me, is so important. Every point in our journey, our lifetime, our magnum opus, the great works that we do, both spiritual, in the physical world, our careers, our family lives, our self-work, all of these things. This is the foundational place. This is where we go when we need to recharge. This is aligning ourselves with the elements, getting things balanced out. Sometimes we have to withdraw from society, from our families, from our friendships, from our workplaces. We have to let that moat just, separate us from the rest of the world so that we can focus in on what we need to do, right? Whatever that is. I love this card because it is a reminder that we always need to be tempering self. We always need to be adjusting self. We always need to be finding our new balance because nothing stays the same. It will never stay the same. Everything is in constant flux, okay? Now, we're going to tap that thing, and I already... we're going to pick it up, and I'm going to say thank you for deciding to click on this reading. It is always such an honor for me. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, it really helps the channel to have any kind of interaction. Also, if you want to share the reading on different platforms, like put it on your Facebook or your Tumblr or whatever, that would be appreciated as well. I don't like begging for all of the interaction things, so I don't know. You always hear it on here, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. But I do have to say it because the algorithm likes the words. So I appreciate you. I want to see what's going on. Let's get into this energy. We are fortifying. We are reestablishing our foundation. We have a child talking to an older person right here. The way the head is, it reminds me of almost like a badger. This one on the child, which this would be the child, the head here, arm raised, looking up at this one. I almost feel like it reminds me of an airplane. So we have a child that is in the clouds a lot. We have a child that has a very involved interior world, a very broad and interesting imagination. They are maybe a kid that likes to do some acting, make-believe. Maybe they're into drawing or writing or something like this. But it almost feels like we have somebody within their life, maybe a parent, maybe, I don't know, an aunt and uncle, and an older sibling possibly. But I almost kind of feel like there is a sense of... not anger or even being like super overbearing or controlling of the kid, but I almost feel like, for some reason, I feel like it's like they're using them in their own misdeeds. And if like using them as like a way, like, okay, so if it was your kid, right? Like your ex-spouse using the kid as a way to get to you type of deal. You know what I mean? Like they're using them as an instrument to do bad things. I mean, I don't even want to say bad things, but like things that maybe you don't approve of, maybe things that you find, troublesome. Yeah, I'm trying to think of examples that make sense, that would make sense to most people. But I think it is kind of this like using the younger kid, the child, maybe they're a teenager, maybe even a young adult, okay? But using them as a means to an end, to some kind of, I don't know why this keeps coming up in my head, but it's almost like I feel like I don't want to say this is what anybody's doing, but because I am pretty, I don't know, I don't like to place value on this kind of thing because it's nuanced, okay? But almost kind of like using your kid to distract while you're stealing kind of deal. I don't know why, like shoplifting. I don't know. Maybe your ex is a shoplifter. I don't know. My stomach is growling. I'm sorry about that. But it feels like it's something that is big to you because it's not, you don't want your kid involved in this stuff. You don't want your grandchild involved in this stuff, whoever it might be. But at the same time, it's not like to the point where it's like such a morally or ethically messed up thing where you can take like a super hard position. So I feel like there is kind of this place of like, it's kind of ambiguous, but at the same time, it makes you uncomfortable. And I think that's really what matters here, is that feeling that you get in your gut, right? You can reason it out all day long, okay? But when something feels wrong. When something feels uncomfortable. So I feel like this is going to be a situation you're going to have to, kind of speak up about or, maybe intervene in some way. It can get tricky though, especially if this isn't your kid. So be mindful. Do not get involved where you shouldn't, of course. And be, I think, thoughtful about how you might approach the other person here. Okay. I want to move on from that because that doesn't feel nice. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of having to deal with that kind of situation at all. So we have CC. We have a person making an offering, and it does look like a flame. Now, we have somebody who's also like kind of walking away. But over here, we have two people. And this one, it seems like, is handing something over while this person's holding a sword. We also have the X right here in this person's feet. Now, over here, we have a seated person, and we have a person standing over. And here we have a person who is holding something, and we have birds. So messages coming in. So to me, it feels like messages coming in. There is a meeting of some kind. No, maybe this. Messages coming in. A meeting of some kind. Okay? It gets messy. It gets verbal. It gets, saying things out of frustration, anger, that kind of thing. Now, I do feel like there's a sense of, do we walk away? Is this it? Do I get up on my horse and wagon and get up out of here? There's no person on here, so there's consideration. Is this going to be the best way forward, or am I just in my feelings right in this moment, right? Am I just making decisions based off of transient feelings? I don't think so. And I think also the person here ends up really trying to make amends with you, because I think they really did end up coming for you based off of nothing. Okay. Maybe they got jealous. Maybe they, misinterpreted something. But I feel like there's a sense of like, I'm very sorry. I feel very, passionate about my mistake here, about, taking responsibility for it. And ultimately, I feel like there is a sense of ease that comes over the situation. I feel like there is a place where there can be like open communication. I also feel that there's a sense of trusting in yourself more, because you found your way through a situation. Even though there was conflict, even though they pushed all your buttons, even though they went for you, you still kept your cool. You got through the dang old thing. And Sagittarius, at the end of the day, I feel like you are coming into that Empress energy, that Emperor energy. There's a feeling of power, of self-control, of really believing in yourself. And ultimately, I feel like having a space within self where you can more deeply connect with others, because you have been learning that special, that magical, that key to the universe, and that is patience. Pumping the brakes before you react, even when you want to say, you know what, dude, and you go at it. And you just absolutely go at it. And you did not do that. You didn't do it. You said, nope, I'm going to take my time here. I'm going to disengage. I'm going to let things settle out. And then we're going to see where we're at. And I think ultimately that is something that is really strengthening the bond of this relationship, really strengthening this belovedness, because I do feel like there is a great love here. I also have the impression that you both are practicing within the same belief system or magical system. And I do feel that there is a sense of almost kind of complementing each other in a way that allows for the magic to flow through your life, and for you to do deeper and more complex magic, prayer, manifestation, magnetism, any kind of clairvoyance that you have been developing. I really do feel like this is a potent shift for you. And this is all related to your ability to control that patience, right? To not act even when you feel like you have no other choice. But you're mastering yourself. You are doing something that most people will never be able to do. I tell my daughter constantly, if you can learn to really lock in, to really push yourself in the areas that you are interested, if it's, some kind of career, a hobby, a skill, building a business, you're way ahead of most people, because a lot of people just do not get up with that go. Most people, things are good enough, right? Why keep learning? Why keep developing your different spheres of intelligence? Why keep building on life if things are just good enough? Or they just are inactive, or they don't know how to get going on certain things. So if you have that drive and you just are able to get yourself out of bed and apply yourself, you are miles ahead of most people. Miles. And for so many, there have been great lengths of time in my life where I felt like I couldn't even take a shower every day, let alone get out of bed and be, making money and building a life, that I've been dreaming of. Most of the time during those periods, it's just like, dude, I can barely like feed myself and get dressed every day, But if you are able to not dwell in those zones, those spheres of being, and you can apply yourself, it's amazing. It's amazing what you can do. Now, we have a visitor. We have a gatekeeper. The Sphinx up here, we also have the heart. We have a person showing up right here. It looks like they have a balloon. We have a person over here who looks like they have a little flowers or something. We have a person over here who has the little flowers. We also have a person here who looks like they're going to be knocking on this door. We have the letter T. We have the number 2. So I do feel that there's a gateway happening here. You are coming into a place where I feel that you're making a decision about somebody who is not your primary beloved or partner. You might be single. But I do feel that there is somebody you have met. Maybe you've known them for many years and you're just now getting to really know this other side of them. I don't know exactly, but I do feel like there is a wild attraction, first of all. That's the big thing, wild attraction. But not the most important thing, not by far. There is a spiritual connection that differs from the connection you have with either your primary person, your spouse, or your magical partner. This is a completely different person. I think that they have a T name, maybe an M. Maybe an M. T or M, maybe both. I don't know. But you're being pulled because you do have like a really good established connection with another magical partner, I think. And that's the thing, is that like this feels fresh and new and wonderful, and like there's like a lot of inspiration and, well, just like early love feelings, a lot of lust. But things are working so well with the other person too. I want to see. Let's go over here. We're going to see what the Oracle of the Radiant Sun has to say. We're going to see. So tell me, Oracle of the Radiant Sun, Spirit Divine, tell me, what is going to happen with this new person? What is going to happen with this magical partner that is bringing themselves into Sagittarius' life? Because I feel that they are attracted to you. They have found you in some way. They might even be like an entity that is manifesting as a person to come into your life. But we're going to see. Enterprise. So I do feel like they will approach you in having to do with business, money, maybe building something together. Okay, there's a sense of rebellion. I think this is a rebellion from the primary relationship or the magical partner that you already have, in a sense of really seeking harmony. Okay. Maybe there is not a lot of harmony in your established relationship or magical relationship. But I think that's something you really want. Fulfillment. Okay. So I do feel like there is a sense of needing fulfillment, or there's some lacking. Some kind of, I don't know. Let's see, health. Okay, so maybe they're dealing with health issues. Your original magical partner, I'm not gonna, let's see. Impulsive, yeah. So I'm wondering if this is actually like there's addiction or mental health with the partner you have that is like an established magical partner, maybe a domestic partner, maybe a spouse, but I do feel like something's going on with them. It's making it really hard to feel fulfilled at all, but the harmony is just not there. Now, with the other person showing up, I feel like there is a chance to like maybe start something new. Maybe this is somebody you might start a business with. Maybe you're going to be doing, I don't know, a podcast together. There seems to be some amount of rebellion in this person or about their like personality, their disposition. And I feel like this awakens that within you. And it's something that like is really beautiful about you. When you can get into a place where you're like just not falling in line, you're kind of like going about it your own way. I think that's when you're really on. Okay. So I want to do one more and we're going to see. Revenge. Uh-oh. Ooh, revenge. Okay, let's get out. Let's do some, we'll do a few tarot cards. So now we have revenge. How is that going to play with this whole situation? So we have our star card, which is our goal, our big goal, where we're headed towards. We have ruin. Oh my goodness. So we have the 10 of swords and abundance. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I feel like there seems to be something corroding in your original partnership. I feel like it is headed towards ruin. It has been. Okay. Whatever goals you had with them, I just don't see them being met. But as you move into this new partnership, I do feel like there is a sense of union, equality, being heard, being able to hear them without any resentment or anything like that. I feel like there's an abundance of that creative, fiery, sexual energy flowing through your life when you come into this new, I'm not going to say it's like a romantic relationship, but this new partnership. I think that's the big thing. Now we'll do one more and that will be, yeah. Okay. So the work is happening. The works is there, right? And so ultimately you come together to do the work. And that's what is important. I don't know that it's a new romantic partner, but I do know it's somebody that you relate to on a deep, deep level. Okay. Now we are going to look at the rest of this one here. We have the desert and the plateau. We have the number 2. We have a bird flying. We have a gap here, and then we have fish kind of flying all around. So I do feel like in this next period of time, you're going to be a little tight with money, or at least saving, right? Not spending as much. I think during the holiday season, that's maybe the big thing for you right now, is thinking about how am I going to get through the season without spending a bunch of money? here's the deal. I think that you're absolutely going to tighten your belt. You're going to get through it and you're going to save that money. You're going to, if the money's not there at all, you're going to make it through. Okay. That's your desert. Now, as things change in the next, I'm guessing 3 months, money is going to start coming in. Trust the way. Trust yourself. Trust the signs, the symbols, and the opportunities. Don't be stupid. Do not make irrational or quick decisions. Take the time to think about it. Go over it with 2 people. Okay? Somebody you trust, somebody who is supportive, somebody who is going to really be there to be your cheerleader. And then you're going to talk to somebody practical. You're going to talk to your uncle with the tism that's really good with the numbers, who's just going to tell you how it is. He doesn't care if you cry. He's not going to sugarcoat the facts kind of deal. You need somebody like that as well. Okay, go find your Capricorn. And ultimately, I see this really coming together for you. I mean, I really do. Now, we have a person with the 2 eyes. Look at this silly mustache. And then the other thing I'm looking at up here is we have the deer. Okay, so I feel like there's a masculine energy in your life. This is a person that maybe is on the level of being like a guru, a life coach, maybe with actual following, right? A pastor, a minister, a mom, somebody, right? Who is very interconnected with spirit. I see this being an important connection for you. There's some kind of message coming through there. Don't get distracted as the money's coming in. You have to upkeep your spiritual work to receive that abundance. I talked to my husband, shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. Go check him out. His name is Paul. He's amazing. I talk to my husband about this a lot. I say, we must be doing the work. We cannot be doing readings and telling the world about spiritual things, concepts, and systems, and ultimately the greater work, the arts, unless we ourselves are doing the work, right? I mean, you can, but there's no life in it. What I bring you here, it might not always feel coherent. It might not always feel like I know what I'm talking about. I don't. But I promise you, it is interwoven with deep magic. It is interwoven with my heart, my soul, my entire being. And so we must. And so we must upkeep the work, okay? Because it's all coming together for you, ultimately. It really is. Now, let's do our lucky numbers. We have number 3 and number 6. We have 36, or we have the number 9. 36 or 9 for our first lucky number. Okay, we have 3 and we have a 5. We have 35, or we have the number 8. Ooh. Throw her again. There we go. We have number 3 and number 6. We have 36 again, and again 9. We'll do one more. Okay, we have the number 1 and we have the number 4, 14, or 5. Okay, thank you, Sagittarius, for deciding to be here with me today. It's always such a great honor for me to be able to bring these messages to you. I love you guys so much. I love you so, so much. Please, if you have any prayer requests, please put those in the comments, or you can email me at ulaishere@gmail.com. Other than that, I'm just going to say again, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk soon, and good night.